Now that we're familiar with the basics of After Effects interface, we're ready to start animating. Let's start by learning the basics of animating an object. First, make a new composition. Go to the Composition menu and select New Composition. Change settings and type in a name for your composition. Now choose the Shape tool and draw a rectangle anywhere in the composition window. In the Timeline panel, you'll see a new shape appear as its own layer. Below the title of the layer, click on the small arrow next to Transform to view all of the basic properties of this layer. You can edit the anchor point, position, scale, rotation, and opacity. To the left of each property name, you'll see a small stopwatch icon. This indicates whether or not that property will be animated. Click on the stopwatch icon next to the position property. A small diamond will appear in your timeline at the position of your playhead. This is called a keyframe. Next, move the playhead in the timeline forward about 3 seconds. Then, using the Selection tool, drag your rectangle to another area of the composition window. Notice that making changes to your position creates another keyframe. It appears on the timeline at the playhead's position. Press the Home key on your keyboard to return to the beginning of your timeline. Then, press the spacebar to play through the animation that you've just created. You can click and drag this keyframe forward or backwards on the timeline in order to speed up or slow down the movement. Now let's try animating the opacity of the rectangle. Drag the playhead back to the beginning of your composition. Or press the Home key on your keyboard. Click the stopwatch next to the opacity property to make it active. The value of 100% is listed in orange to the right of the opacity property, and that indicates that the rectangle is completely visible. Click on the 100 and drag the mouse to the left. You'll see the numbers decrease as the object becomes see-through. Drag the value to 0 to make the object completely invisible. Move the playhead forward a few seconds. Now click on the 0 and drag your mouse to the right to bring the opacity to 100%. When you play from the beginning, you'll see your rectangle fade in as it moves across the screen. Now you know the basics of animating in After Effects. Just remember, whenever you see the small stopwatch icon next to a property, that property can be animated. In the next lesson, we'll start adding and animating basic effects.